basement of La Penta. This is WICR.
Hello, Iona College. Welcome back. For everyone who's waiting for the college football segment, it is here, and I can't be more excited to talk about it. It's just been such a good season, week in, week in. I mean, this was another phenomenal weekend. Now, we've got the new AP Top 10 in front of us, so let's go up and down the Top 10 list. At number 1, you have Mississippi State staying at the number 1 spot, 7-0, winning against Kentucky this weekend, 45-31. Mississippi State wasn't the prettiest game coming off their bye, but you know what? In the SEC, it's a road game against a Kentucky team that is definitely getting better. You have to take it. Dak Prescott, not his best performance either. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, ran the ball very well, 88 yards rushing, 2 rushing touchdowns. And you look at Kentucky, you got to give their quarterback Patrick Towles a lot of credit. 390 yards, 2 touchdowns, 76 rushing yards, and 2 rushing touchdowns as well. It wasn't the prettiest game you would have wanted to see from Mississippi State. I think a lot of people want to see flash when you're the number 1 team. They want to see you blowing out people. But you know, it's the SEC. That doesn't always happen. Kentucky's definitely a team that's getting better. They were at home. For Mississippi State, I think it's one where you're just happy you win. And you look ahead, Arkansas coming up, you should get a win there. UT Martin, no one knows what a UT Martin is. They'll dismantle UT Martin. And then Alabama is the game everyone has circled on their calendars. I don't think Alabama scares you, but at the same time, you can never sleep on in Alabama. Mississippi State, I think if they get past Alabama, then they play Ole Miss a rivalry week, they really will probably stay at the 1 spot.
Yeah, Mississippi State, Joe, this was a great game. You know, Kentucky's always given them trouble in the past. Prescott really struggled passing. I liked his rushing game, but Josh Robinson, you got to give it to this guy. Rushing for 198 yards and 2 touchdowns really helped seal with this team. Prescott also with his rushing picking up another 2 touchdowns. Great game out of Mississippi State, and I see them going far this year. I think Alabama will give them a really tough challenge, though, in the upcoming weeks. I see Alabama winning that game.
Wow, you like Alabama, though. We'll get to that more when we get there, but I think it's going to be a phenomenal game. I mean, Dan Mullen against Nick Saban. I can't wait for that one. Now, number 2, the Florida State Seminoles had a bye this week, 7-0. Look, I said it last week. They're going to go undefeated the rest of the way. Games at Louisville, Virginia, at Miami, Boston College, Florida. Give me a break. I mean, this is cake the rest of the way for Florida State. They're going to get to the rest of the way undefeated. I mean, that's it for them. But let's go to 3, Alabama. They did play a game this week. 7-1, Alabama 34-20 against Tennessee. Now, Alabama was dominant early in this game. Amari Cooper was just unbelievable. Tennessee had no answer for Amari Cooper early in this game. He had 9 receptions, 224 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But you give Blake Sims a lot of credit. Tennessee was really starting to get closer. They were gaining momentum. The game was really close. Blake Sims had a huge drive leading Alabama down the field. And that's the kind of thing you want to see from your first-year quarterback. When the pressure's on, when things haven't been going your way, can you deliver the drive you need to? Blake Sims did it. I think it's a big confidence booster for him. Alabama, at the end of the day, is going to live and die by what they can do offensively. I like them defensively, but at the end of the day, this is an SEC where we're seeing increasingly you need to put up more and more points to win. Blake Sims has got to be the guy for Alabama. He's got to go up-tempo. I think it's a good – there's problems there with Alabama, but it was encouraging to see from Blake Sims there.
Oh, yeah, Joe. This team, they looked great on Saturday. Give it to the guy, Amari Cooper, though. Dominated this game. Owned Tennessee that whole game. Got almost every single receiving yard for Alabama. The defense is looking stellar, and when they play Mississippi State, they're going to beat them in the next coming weeks.
There you go. Big Sure Up's calling the prediction right now, so you heard it here first. Now, let's go on to Auburn. The War Eagles moving up to the number 4 spot, beating South Carolina 42-35. Now, I thought Auburn coming off their bye would definitely give South Carolina a little bit more trouble. I mean, look, South Carolina is a heck of a football team, so it's not like this is surprising. It was tough, but Auburn's defense, I thought, would give them a little bit more trouble because Dylan Thompson especially is a very stationary quarterback. But you know what? South Carolina gave him a tough game. Auburn, though, got the job done. South Carolina, though, Dylan Thompson, give him credit for a stationary quarterback to throw 402 yards and 5 touchdowns against this Auburn defense. Pretty impressive. He did throw 3 interceptions as well, which is a little alarming. But Nick Marshall, efficient, 12 of 14, 139 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 89 rushing yards on the ground, 3 rushing touchdowns. Auburn ran the ball very well, 167 yards from Cameron Artis-Payne. I think at the end of the day, Auburn's got a very tough schedule coming up, but I do still really like this team. I mean, look ahead. At Ole Miss, Texas A&M, and then Georgia. Those are 3 tough games. A&M, we all know, they've kind of been exposed. They should win against them pretty easy. But Ole Miss, Auburn next week is setting up for a very interesting game. I'll talk more about that when we get to Ole Miss, but Georgia as well is going to be a tough game there. So let's go to the number 5 spot. The Oregon Ducks moving into the number 5 spot, rightfully so. I mean, Oregon's really bounced back from their loss to Arizona, but the game was a little tough. I mean, Oregon won 59-41 on Friday against California. Both teams very speedy, very speedy matchup that way. But Oregon's defense struggled mightily. I mean, California just could not be stopped. The first couple of drives of this game, it was all offense on both sides of the ball. And I think you got to give Marcus Mariota a lot of credit because defensively, the Oregon Ducks are not giving him help. He's had to make a lot of plays on his own. I mean, he's really carrying the Ducks right now. And the big thing for him, he made some plays in that game where there was nothing there. There was one play in the first quarter where Marcus Mariota changed field direction, cut back, and he just picked up a first down that he never should have been able to get. Marcus Mariota's had his best season by far. And I'll ask you, Rob, for me, Marcus Mariota is my Heisman favorite at this point. I think Dak Prescott has had a great year as well, but I think Dak Prescott has more help than Marcus Mariota does. I mean, Mississippi State has a phenomenal defense. And Prescott, let's be honest, he's done enough to win, but the last 2 weeks he hasn't been unbelievable. Marcus Mariota's just been putting up video game numbers. Even this week, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, his first pick of the year. I just look at Marcus Mariota and how he's played this year with all the other problems Oregon has had on the offensive line, defensively. I think Mariota is my Heisman favorite right now.
Oh, I have him too, Joe. This guy is just dominating in college football. 24 touchdowns this year, 1 interception. You have to give it to him. He is controlling this team. Everything is done through him. His defense really isn't that great with Oregon, and he's just been the guy who's been able to put up the points and get his team on and off the field quickly. He's a great quarterback, and I see him taking the Heisman this year. This is his year finally.
There you go. We're agreed there. Now let's go to 6. You have Notre Dame, who had a bye this week. I'm sorry, let's go back to Oregon for a minute. Looking ahead a little bit. Stanford, they have a matchup against Stanford next week. Now, Stanford is not as good as they have been in the past, but this is a team that's historically given Oregon a lot of problems. The last 2 years, Oregon has lost their games to Stanford. They do get them at home, which is a big help, but I never sleep on Stanford when they play Oregon, and especially with the way Oregon's defense is playing, this could give the Ducks a big scare. And then you have a game against Utah after that. Now, I got to give Utah a ton of credit in a minute, but this is a tough 2-game stretch. If they win these 2, they should win out, but I like the Oregon Ducks a lot. They've just got to keep on riding Marcus Mariota for as long as they can. So now we're going to number 6, Notre Dame, a bye. They're at Navy this weekend, then at Arizona State. Navy's always kind of weird because of the unique offense they run, but Notre Dame should win easily against them. And then the game at Arizona State is a tough road game. This game will tell me a lot about Notre Dame. If they win this game, which is a tough place to play, I'm all in. A running game will pick up. Everett Golson has to continue playing well. Has to clean up the turnovers, though. If they're going to win out, they have to clean up the turnovers. But Everett Golson is going to be the key there. If he stops turning the ball over, they'll just be just fine.
Yeah, Joe, this Notre Dame team, this team, just keep looking out for them. You know what? You put in the loss to Alabama, but that was a tough game.
Florida State.
Florida State, my bad. I apologize. You look at that loss, very tough game for them to lose, but I do see them improving the rest of the year. And versus Navy, they should be able to beat them.
Absolutely. Now let's go to number 7. Ole Miss dropping to the number 7 spot now, 7-1, losing to LSU 10-7. And I've been saying it. I mean, look, I've never been a big Bo Wallace fan, but he played really well, so I couldn't say much. But you know what? We saw the old Bo Wallace in this game. Really, just an ugly performance. 14 of 33, 176 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Bo Wallace just was ugly in this game. At the end of the game, just a horrendous. I mean, Ole Miss had a chance to maybe get a field goal off and tie the game, but they sent the offense out back on the field. They were just going to try to throw something short and move up a little bit, but Bo Wallace tried to I don't know what he was thinking. It was just one of those plays why I've always been not the biggest fan of Bo Wallace, but they struggled mightily against the run for LSU. LSU really just had a field day, 264 rushing yards. Leonard Fournette just could not be stopped. He had 23 carries for 113 yards, and the thing for LSU is they don't have much of a passing game, so you would think the game plan would be pretty simple for Ole Miss. Stack the box, stop the run. LSU's going to have you're not going to be able to throw the football. So it's really bad timing for Ole Miss because they play Auburn next week. And if LSU had a field day running the ball against Ole Miss, you wait till you play Auburn because Auburn's offense is so predicated on the run. They do such a good job at spacing and timing and deception-wise against enemy defenses that they're going to have a very good day. But Ole Miss, they have the defensive personnel to bounce back from this. It's going to be a really tough game. I'm having a really tough time picking who I think is going to win that game. Auburn's at Ole Miss, so I'm leaning towards Ole Miss just for the fact that they're home, but you never count out the War Eagles. Rob, who are you thinking for that game?
I'm taking Auburn, Joe. The last 2 weeks with Bo Wallace, he's really struggled throwing 27 for 61, and after the way he played versus LSU, I don't see him matching up versus this Auburn team, especially with Marshall. If he's able with Auburn to dominate the way he did last week, you better watch out versus this Ole Miss team. Ole Miss struggled versus the running game. Fournette ran for 113 yards for LSU, and if they just allow the rushing game to kill them, which Auburn's very well known for his rushing, they're going to be in big trouble.
There you go. Good, very good assessment there. Let's go to the number 8 spot. You have the Michigan State Spartans beating the Michigan Wolverines 35-11. Michigan State moves to 7-1, and I think we're being set up for a very good matchup November 8th against Ohio State. These are the two best teams by far in the Big Ten. It's not even close. It's Ohio State and Michigan State. Ohio State we saw getting a tough win on the road against Penn State. J.T. Barrett's played very well, but so has Michigan State's quarterback Connor Cook. 17 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. I think Michigan State offensively is much, much better than they were last year. Defensively, not as good, but the thing you got to kill for Michigan for is Brady Hoke. What's he thinking? Driving a stake into the Michigan State field before the game. That's not really smart based on the way things have gone for Michigan. Brady Hoke should probably start packing his bags. It's just been a horrendous season. Brady Hoke's out the door. He's gone. Just pack up your bags now. But Michigan State, they dominate, get a pretty easy win. And now number 9, you have the Georgia Bulldogs. They had a bye. Now I listened to Danny Cannell this morning. Very interesting. He likes Georgia as the best team in the SEC. Very interesting there. Georgia will play Florida, Kentucky, and Auburn. That's a tough stretch, but I like them at quarterback with Hudson Mason. I think without Gurley, they can't get it done. If they had Gurley, though, they would have a chance. Florida, they should get past. Kentucky will give them a fight, but they'll fall. Auburn's the game you got to circle. Georgia-Auburn will be a very good game. Last year, we saw Auburn really just get that miracle play to work. Georgia would have won that game, so it should be a very good matchup. And now number 10, everyone's favorite darling, the TCU Horned Frogs. 82-17 against Texas Tech. Rob, when you saw the score, did you think it was incorrect, or did you think it was a mistake or something?
I thought it was crazy. I thought I was watching somebody play a video game.
Unbelievable.
It's like when you play like the college football games and your quarterback just keeps throwing. This guy was on fire this week, throwing for 7 touchdowns for TCU.
I mean, it's amazing because Gary Patterson's historically has been a defensive guy. This is by far the best offensive talented team Gary Patterson's ever had. You look at Trevon Boykin, he's been unbelievable. 433 yards, 7 touchdowns. He has a total 2,306 yards and 21 touchdowns, and he's only turned the ball over 3 times. They have a next game at West Virginia. They play number 11 Kansas State after that. West Virginia's been playing very well, but I think TCU will get past them. Kansas State's the game we've all got to be circling on our calendars because that's going to be a very good matchup. But TCU, you give them credit because they're showing right now they could score against anybody. Now, before we end the college football segment, I got to give a little credit to the Utah Utes. I mean, you look at this team, number 19. I don't think we've given them enough credit they deserve. You look at some of the big wins this year. Their last 3 games, they beat UCLA, Oregon State, and then USC this week. They have another win against Michigan. Utah's had a good year. They really had. You give them a lot of credit. They play in a tough division. They don't have the most talented team in the world, but you know what? They've got a lot of big wins. You give them a ton of credit. That's going to do it for the top 10. It's going to wrap it up for college football. Could go longer with college football, but I want to get into the NFL a little bit. So we'll go to a quick 1-minute break, and when we come back, Rob, you can say whatever you want about your Jets. I got to give a lot of credit. And if you're watching on the live stream, you can see I'm wearing the Arizona Cardinals jersey. Cannot say enough about the Arizona Cardinals, but we'll save that for the next segment and stay with us.